Born in the USA, my arse. That man was born on the north side of Dublin. He's Irish. His mother was Irish, the poetry, the gift of the gab. Isn't it obvious? In fact, I think he's tall for an Irishman. It's an Irish occasion this evening. Paddy sledge. You know, the OJs. They're a tribe from the west of Ireland. Chrissy Hind. We'd like her to be Irish. And this is what, you know, a bit of an Irish wedding. I mean, it is. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a bit of an Irish wedding. Beautiful girls and beautiful frocks. Fights in the bathroom, managers and clients again. Lawyers with bloody noses. It's an Irish wedding. It's a great occasion. And I even like it when it gets dirty. And I've seen it get really dirty over the years here. But rock and roll is the sound of revenge. So make your enemies interesting, I would say, ladies and gentlemen. But not tonight. When we look out into the audience, we don't see any enemies. We just see friends. And this country has taken this band into its bosom all the way from the very beginning. Thank you. It's an amazing thing. Franco Barcelona early on. There's a great friend, Irish friend. Chris Blackwell. What an incredible man he was to have looking after you. And I just, you know, can you imagine your second album, the difficult second album, it's about God. And everyone is tearing their hair out. And Chris Blackwell goes, you know, it's okay. It's Bob Marley and Marvin Gaye. It's Bob Dylan. It's kind of a tradition. We can get through this. And I think about what Frank Barcelona said earlier about long-term vision. Because, you know, without Frank Barcelona and Barbara Skydell and that kind of long-term vision of Chris Blackwell, there would be no U2 after that second album. We would have been dropped. No Beautiful Day, no Sunday Bloody Sunday, no Unforgettable Fire, no One, no Where the Streets of No Name, no With or Without You. And that's the thing I want to take away from tonight. I would like to ask the music business to look at itself and ask itself some hard questions out of tonight. Because there would be no U2 the way things are right now. That's a fact. Only friends out there. We're still, Rolling Stone puts us on the cover of their magazine. Thank you very much, Jan. MTV and VH1 still play our videos. College radio still believes in our band and makes our band believe in ourselves. It's an amazing place to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, feeling like this, feeling like you've just put out your first album. It's a nice feeling, very, very special feeling. And I see around friends and people that we've worked with for a long time, and generally don't do the big thank you speeches just because they're boring. And but why stop the tradition of a lifetime? It's too many people in the room to thank, but I like to thank the really gorgeous women that work for us for a long time because they're fun to thank. Beautiful, gorgeous women that run Principal Management. Ellen Darce, thank you very much. Sheila Roach, thank you very much. Anne-Louise Kelly, thank you very much. Karen Kaplan, thank you very much. Regine Moylette, thank you very much. Beautiful, sexy, sometimes Irish, sometimes American women, thank you. Lots of bodyguards around here. No bigger bodyguard than Jimmy and Doug. Jimmy Iovine and Doug Morris have continued in the tradition of Chris Blackwell, which is letting us get away with pretty much everything we want. So I want to thank them very much. Trying to think of what else. The biggest bodyguard of all. has got to be our manager, Paul McGuinness, sitting right there. The reason why no one in this band has slave scrawled on their face. Paul McGuinness, thank you very much. I won't go on, but just 3 Kodak moments over 25 years I'd like to share with you. One, it's 1976, Larry Mullen's kitchen. It's about the size of the drum riser he uses now. It's a big, bright red, scarlet, really, Japanese kit. And he's sitting behind it in his kitchen. And he's playing, and the ground shakes, and the sky opens up, like Bruce was saying earlier. And it still does. But now I know why. I know why, because Larry Mullen cannot tell a lie. And his brutal honesty is something that we need in this band. Second Kodak moment. I think it's 1982, New Haven, I believe. Things are not going very well. There's a punk rock band on stage trying to play Bach. A fight breaks out. It's between the band. It's very, very messy. Now you look at this guitar genius. You look at this Zen-like master that is the Edge. And you hear those brittle, icy notes. And you might be forgiven for not realizing that you cannot play like that unless you have a rage inside you. And in fact, I had forgotten that on that particular night, and he tried to break my nose. And I learned a very great lesson. Do not pick a fight with somebody who for a living lives off hand-to-eye coordination. Not a good idea. Dangerous, dangerous man, the Edge. Third Kodak moment, 1987, somewhere in the South. We've been campaigning for Dr. King, for his birthday to be a national holiday. And in Arizona, they're saying no. We've been campaigning very, very hard for Dr. King. Some people don't like it. Some people get very annoyed. Some people want to kill the singer. Some people are taken very seriously by the FBI, and they tell the singer that he shouldn't play the gig because tonight his life is at risk, and he must not go on stage. The singer laughs. The singer laughs. You know, of course we're playing the gig. Of course we go on stage, and I'm standing there, singing Pride in the Name of Love, and I've got to the third verse. I've closed my eyes, and I know I'm excited about meeting my maker, but maybe not tonight. I don't really want to meet my maker tonight. I close my eyes, and when I look up, I see Adam Clayton standing in front of me, holding his bass like only Adam Clayton can hold his bass. And you know, there's people in this room who tell you they'd take a bullet for you, but Adam Clayton would have taken a bullet for me. And I guess that's what it's like to be in a truly great rock and roll band. I know Chrissy Hine knows what that means. He's got a BlackBerry out. That is great.
I am, in the end, the technology guy of U2, which really, all it means is I can fix the printer when it goes on. But I don't tell them that. So, above all else, what U2 have tried to avoid over the last 25 years is not being completely crap. But next on the list, down from that, was to avoid being typical, predictable, and ordinary, because it's so very hard to avoid the cliches. Everyone else's, of course, but most of all your own. It's so hard to keep things fresh and not to become a parody of yourself. And if you've ever seen that movie Spinal Tap, you will know how easy it is to parody what we all do. The first time I ever saw it, I didn't laugh. I wept. I wept because I recognized so much in so many of those scenes. I don't think I'm alone amongst all of us here in that. We're all guilty of taking ourselves and our work way too seriously. We have all gone to hang out in the hotel lobby like we were doing something really important. But the reason we're all here tonight is that in spite of all the cliches which do exist, rock and roll, when it is great, it is amazing. It changes your life. It changed our lives. Witness, for instance, tonight, the OJs, Percy Sledge, Bo Diddley, Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, B.B. King, The Pretenders. I mean, amazing, really magic stuff. You can break it down, you can study it all you want, but you cannot just dial it up. It doesn't work like that. And as far as U2 goes, I've stopped trying to figure out how, or more importantly, when our best moments are going to come along. But I think that's why we're still awake, and that's why we're still paying attention. And we know in the end, you see, we know that it is magic. And so we end up waiting around, like we all do sometimes, like actors in some Beckett play, just like they did in that Spinal Tap movie, in the lobby, waiting around, waiting for some magic to happen. And we've done a lot of that over the years, I have to say. I've done a lot of waiting with Bono, with Adam and Larry and Paul for those moments to come along. And we've had some brilliant people with us during those times, our producers, Steve Lillywhite, Brian Eno, Danny Lanois, Jimmy Iovine, Nellie Hooper, our great engineers, principal management team that Bono has talked about, Flood. Thank you, Bono. Our show collaborators who've been with us from the beginning, Willie Williams and all his team, our road crew, fantastic people, Joe O'Hurley, Bucky, Jake, Dallas, Fraser, who isn't here, Stuart, incredible people that we couldn't have hoped of going through the last 25 years without. And tonight it feels like it's just about half the room has been along with us on that journey. So I just want to say thank you to my family for being so patient, my mum and dad for showing me how, the rest of the band particularly, and tonight, for all of you, for this evening. And most of all for, I guess, making space for me as we all wait together for something magic to happen. Thank you.
I promise I'll be brief. Thanks for this tonight. We really appreciate it. It's very special. I feel like we've cut the line or jumped the queue along the way, someplace along the way. And we would never have got out of my kitchen in Artane, in Dublin, had it not been for people like the Sex Pistols, Tom Verlaine Television, Roxy Music, and Patti Smith. These people are in our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Oh dear, it's the bass player approaching the microphone. What's he going to say? I feel baseless. Okay, yesterday it was my 45th birthday. And that's a fine age to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That means 25 years ago we released our first recording. That means 29 years ago we all met and formed our band. 30 years ago I got my first bass guitar, or as I thought, a guitar with only 4 strings. I had no idea what bass was. I had not heard of James Jamerson, Duck Dunn, Jack Bruce, John Entwistle, or Bootsy Collins. I just knew I had a weapon and a shield to take on the world. When we all got together in Larry's kitchen, we didn't know about the great traditions of American music. We didn't know the blues or soul or R&B or country. But we did know that together we had a chance to change the world by making a noise. This was punk, and it saved my ass. We needed someone to get us gigs and to pay for demos. We met Paul McGuinness, and he became our manager. Next, we needed a record deal. We were turned down by many people until Nick Stewart offered us a deal at Island Records. This was the start of a long relationship with Island. Many people along the way helped us develop and grow. Rob Partridge, and of course Chris Blackwell. Ian Wilson and Ian Flukes were our UK agents. We made 3 records with Steve Lillywhite, came to America, and Frank Barcelona and Barbara Skydell were our US agents. They introduced us to a network of promoters: Barry Fay, Bill Graham, Ronnie Delsner. Ellen Darst and Karen Kaplan ran our US office, and they taught us how radio and promotion worked. As we were learning all this stuff about the music business, we were also learning about American music and the kind of artists that are honored here by the Hall of Fame. John Lee Hooker, B.B. King, Hank Williams, Ray Charles, Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan. Now a generation is being inducted, and our time has come to join those that we did not know 25 years ago. And I hope that in 25 years, when this room is full of hip-hop and pop artists, that they will enjoy joining the diverse list of talents that the Hall of Fame recognizes. It took many people to get this band here tonight, and I would like to thank some of them personally. Paul McGuinness and Kathy Gilfillan, Anne-Louise Kelly, Ellen Darst, Karen Kaplan, Sheila Roach, Regine Moylett, Barbara Galvin, Susan Hunter, Trevor Bowen, Gavin Friday, Chris Blackwell, Anton Corbin, Steve Lillywhite, Danny Lanois, Brian Eno, Jimmy Iovine, Doug Morris, Arthur Fogel and Michael Cole, Dennis Sheehan, Joe O'Hurley, Willie Williams, Sharon Blankson, Dallas, Sammy, Stewart and Terry. But in the end, the people who really got me here tonight and who I must thank for everything I have are Ali, Anne, Morley, Susie, Larry, Edge and Bono. Thank you. And I'd really like to thank Bruce for what he said, and I fortunately can remember the names of everyone in the band as well.
We have about 35 songs to play. It won't be long.